Act 5, Scene 1, the final act of the play, and this act is very short and sweet, and everything happens in a very peaceful and joyful mood. So, the last act concludes the play in an atmosphere of peace and joy. In this scene, we return to Belmont to witness the restoration of harmony and romance. So, in the previous act, what was there? Previous act, it was trial scene, and it was very tense. That tense environment was created, tense atmosphere was created there in the court of justice. Why? Because there was risk to Antonio's life, that Antonio could have also lost his life because of the bond that he has signed. Okay, now in this scene, finally his life was saved by Portia, and in this scene, we return to Belmont to witness the restoration of harmony and romance. So, the impassioned dialogues of Lorenzo and Jessica create an atmosphere of love and music. So, as this scene begins, so who is introduced into the scene? Lorenzo and Jessica. That Lorenzo and Jessica, so the way they talked to each other, as we will study, so we'll find that way they talk to each other, so we'll find they are in very romantic mood, and they create an atmosphere of love and music. So Bassanio and Greciano arrive after their wives, and after Portia and Nerissa's arrival to Belmont, Bassanio and Greciano also arrive there, and the ring episode reaches its climax. And when Bassanio and Greciano arrive after their wives, and when their wives will question to them that where is the ring that they had given to them, so after that, the ring episode will reach to its climax. They are accused of losing their rings. That they, Bassanio and Greciano, they both are blamed for losing their rings, and their inability to defend themselves is a surefire comedy. And we'll also find that Portia and Nerissa, they will blame to their husbands that how you can lose the ring which we had given to you. So as they will try to prove themselves that they had tried their best to protect the ring, so that will be a surefire comedy. After enough of teasing, Portia gives a succession of revelations. That finally what happens, that after enough of teasing to their husbands, Portia finally tells all the truth, that who was the lawyer there in the court of justice, that the identity of the lawyer and his clerk, and Antonio's good fortune and the inheritance of Lorenzo and Jessica. And she also gives the good news to Antonio at last, that how his ships have come back safely, and the inheritance of Lorenzo and Jessica. Then she also gives good news to Lorenzo and Jessica that Shylock has signed a deed of gift, that is a legal document according to which after his death whatever he possesses, that will be yours, that will be inherited by you. As such, all the loose ends are tied up, and the end is happy, aided by love, loyalty, and a good sense of humor. So finally the play ends with a good note, with a good message of love, loyalty, and a good sense of humor. Scene first, Belmont, Avenue to Portia's house. Enter Lorenzo and Jessica. So Lorenzo here says, the moon shines bright in such a night as this, when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees, and they did make no noise. In such a night, Troilus methinks mounted the Trojan walls, and sighed his soul toward the Grecian tents, where Cressid lay that night. So here Lorenzo says to Jessica that the moon shines bright, that the moon is shining brightly, and in such a night as this, when the sweet wind did gently kiss the trees, that the soft wind was blowing, and as it touches the trees, the soft wind while blowing, when it touches the trees, and they did make no noise, and they do not make any noise. In such a night, Troilus methinks mounted the Trojan walls. That is, I think that it was the same beautiful night when Troilus mounted on the Trojan walls and sighed his soul towards the Grecian tents. That is, sighed his soul towards the Grecian tent, that he was looking towards the Grecian tents where Cressida lay that night. That is where Cressida was there. Okay, now you see there is a story of Troilus and Cressida. Point number 4 on the other side. Troilus, son of the king of Troy. Now, who was Troilus? He was the son of the king of Troy. So, Troilus and Cressida were lovers and had exchanged vows of eternal fidelity. So, who were these two? That Troilus and Cressida were lovers and had exchanged vows of external fidelity. However, during the siege of Troy, Cressida was handed over to the Greeks in an exchange of prisoners. She had vowed to remain constant, but soon fell in love with Diomed. For a long time, every night, Troilus stood on the walls of Troy looking at the Greek camp. Thus, Cressida became a symbol of unfaithful lovers. Now, listen once again about this Troilus and Cressida. That Troilus and Cressida, they both were true lovers and they had exchanged vows of eternal fidelity. That they both had taken vows that what they will do, that is, they will always remain faithful to each other and they will love each other, they will marry each other, and they will always throughout their life they will remain faithful to each other. However, during the siege of Troy, but what happened actually, once when the Troy was attacked by the Greeks, so that time Cressida was handed over to the Greeks in an exchange of prisoners. Okay, so Cressida was handed over to the Greeks in an exchange of the prisoners. That is, the Trojan prisoners were relieved when they will be given Cressida. So was done. So she had vowed to remain constant. That is, when she was going to the Greeks. So at that time she told to Troilus that I will always remain constant. That is, I will always be faithful to you. I will not betray you. I will always keep loving to you. That though I will not be here, but I will always be faithful in my love. But soon fell in love with Diomed. But soon what happened when she was there in the Greek? So there she fell in love with some other man whose name was Diomed. For a long time, every night Troilus stood on the walls of Troy looking at the Greek camps. And for a long time, what happened? That this Troilus was unable to forget his beloved Cressida. And what he was doing, that is, he was mounting on the Trojan wall and looking towards the Grecian camps. So thus, in this way, Cressida became a symbol of unfaithful lover, and Troilus became symbol of faithful lover because he kept loving his beloved. He thought that his beloved Cressida will be faithful to him, but this didn't happen. And when she went to Greek, so there she fell in love with another man called Diomed. So here Lorenzo tells that I think that it is the same beautiful night as we have today when Troilus mounted on the Trojan walls and sighed his soul towards the Grecian camp. Sighed his soul, meaning is given other side, point number 5, that sent forth sighs of love. That by looking at towards the Grecian camp, he sent forth his sighs of love where Cressida lay that night. That is where Cressida was staying, where Cressida was with the Greeks. Then Jessica replied, in such a night did Thisbe fearfully overtrip the dew and saw the lion's shadow o'er himself and ran dismayed away. Now, what Jessica said, in such a night, that I think that it was the same beautiful night as we have today. Now, which kind of beautiful night they are talking about? That as they have today, as moon is shining brightly and the soft wind is blowing, and when it touches the trees, so it appears that wind the soft wind kisses the tree and they don't make any noise. So Jessica tells that I think it was the same beautiful night like this when Thisbe fearfully overtripped the dew and saw the lion's shadow himself and ran dismayed away. Now there is one more story behind this. Jessica says Jessica says about Thisbe and another one. So here see point number 8, children. This one, yeah. a Babylonian maiden. Now, who is Thisbe? Thisbe is a Babylonian maiden. That is, she was an unmarried girl from Babylon, a Babylonian maiden. She and her lover Pyramus were forbidden to meet by their parents. Now, Thisbe and her lover named Pyramus, they both were forbidden, that is, they both were stopped from meeting with each other. And who stopped them? That is, their parents were forbidding them to meet each other. So one day they arranged secretly to meet in a forest. So one day what happened? Thisbe and Pyramus, both of them planned secretly that they will meet each other in the forest. Thisbe saw a lion and fled, leaving her cloak behind. So what happened? That Thisbe saw a lion. So when Thisbe came to forest, so there she saw a lion and she got afraid. And what she did, she went back, that is, she fled, leaving her cloak behind, that is, she kept her cloak there. Cloak means gown which she was wearing, so she took that gown and she kept there uh, in the forest. And she thought that when Pyramus will come, so he will see that okay, my cloak is here, and he will understand that I have gone back, looking the lion. So what she did, that is, they saw a lion and fled. Thisbe saw a lion and fled, leaving her cloak behind. So Pyramus saw her blood-stained cloak. But meanwhile, what happened, that when Pyramus came, so that cloak which was there of Thisbe, so that was blood-stained by any of the animals, any of the wild animals of the forest. So that was blood-stained. And Pyramus, when he looked at the blood-stained cloak, thought Thisbe was dead and killed himself. And so what he thought, looking at the blood-stained, so he thought, looking at the blood-stained cloak, that she is killed, that is, she is dead, or any of the wild animal has attacked on her and she is dead, she is no more alive. And thinking this, Pyramus killed himself. So Thisbe returned, saw her lover's body and killed herself too. And when Thisbe came after some time, so when she saw a dead body of Pyramus, so she also killed herself. Both became symbols of faithful lover. In this way, both of them, Thisbe also and Pyramus also, became the symbol of faithful lovers. Okay, so this is the story of Thisbe and Pyramus. So Jessica, what she tells, that in such a night did Thisbe fearfully overtrip the dew. That is, it was same beautiful night when Thisbe fearfully overtripped the dew. That is, when she came to forest and saw the lion's shadow or himself, and she saw the shadow of the lion and himself, and ran dismayed away. And what happened? That is, she got fearful and she went back. And after that, Pyramus, who was there, her lover, so he also killed himself, and both became the examples of faithful lover. Okay, you have to keep these stories in your mind. The first one that is given, point number 4, about Troilus and Cressida. So once again I shall explain you. Troilus and Cressida were the lovers, and they had exchanged vows of eternal fidelity. That is, they both had promised each other that they will remain faithful to each other forever. Throughout their life, they will remain constant to each other, true to each other. But when the Troy was sieged by the Greeks, so at that time they had to hand over Cressida in exchange of the prisoners. And while going, Cressida promised him that she will always remain faithful to him. But as soon as she was there in the Greek, she fell in love with another man called Diomed, and after her, every night for long time, Troilus mounted at night there and was looking continuously towards the Greek camps. Okay, and that shows that he really loved Cressida very much. And another story that is given, Thisbe and Pyramus, that who is Thisbe? Thisbe is a Babylonian maiden, and she and her lover Pyramus were forbidden to meet by their parents. That is, their parents didn't want that they both meet each other, but one day what happened? They both secretly planned to meet each other and in the forest. So when they had to come to meet each other, Thisbe came at first. So when Thisbe came there in the forest, she saw a lion, and she became fearful and ran back. And while going back, so she left her cloak there in the forest. So but that cloak was blood stained by any of the wild animal, and when Pyramus came and found this cloak, so he thought that Thisbe is dead. Any of the wild animal has killed her and eaten. So he also killed himself, as he was in grief at that time. And after some time, when Thisbe came to forest again to meet Pyramus, thinking that he must be waiting for me to meet, so she found his dead body, and finally she also killed herself, and both became the example of faithful lovers. Okay, we stop till here. In the next video we shall continue from line number 11. Okay, chalo.